Okay, so here we are in Fort Myers, Florida. It's the new year, 2016. We have a wonderful patient from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, who is an entrepreneur, MIT graduate, who must have researched me. Hopefully she only found the good stuff. Hopefully you only found the good stuff. And tell us, your problem was you had a posterior vitreous detachment, and I've got your video running here right now. But what problems did you have with these opacities in the vitreous?
Well, I only had it in one eye, but it was still a significant detriment to my quality of life because it was very distracting having large, like a translucent kelp bed float back and forth every time I moved my eye. And in fact, I think my brain started photoshopping my image so that it looked okay, but in fact I almost had a couple of car accidents recently looking over my right shoulder, and I missed a car right next to my car. So, you know.
Oh, and there is your one of your big opacities there. Just to show that that's actually a Highland Weissring type of opacity. See that? Kind of interesting looking.
Yeah, and so if that's in the wrong place at the wrong time, it can cause more than a little annoyance. It can become actually a problem when you're driving, I think. And so I was offered the opportunity to have my insurance company pay for a complete vitrectomy of that eye, and looked into that pretty seriously, but chose not to, partly because of the cataracts that often form after that procedure, and was happy to find that there were a few people out there like Dr. Geller who were willing to try something new. And I have to say I was a little bit nervous, and given that very few people do this and the insurance companies don't pay for it, but I am absolutely sold on the whole process, and would recommend to anybody who has serious floaters to come down and try it out.
Yeah, and I always emphasize to patients that the end result depends on, what the patient's expectations are and what we start with. Floaters can vary from just a little piece of lint that you see against a clear background to something that really obscures an object that you look at. Yours was somewhere in between that. But you have a great, smart mind that's working very fast, and it was extremely annoying for you, correct?
Well, and it was more than annoying. I had trouble reading, oddly enough, and that's gone away.
Good.
For the first time I needed reading glasses, but even with reading glasses, something wasn't right, and it was very difficult for me to read, and I read all the time. So that was a big quality of life issue as well. And now I have 20/20 vision, and I don't need any reading glasses.
Do you think it improved your visual acuity any?
Yes, totally.
That's something I've heard from patients, and it's very subtle. It might be a contrast sensitivity issue.
I think it's more than that. It was like a film had been removed from my visual field. I sat with friends at dinner after the first treatment, and it was like I had suddenly had a veil removed from my vision. I was remarking, the whole time about how, I'm sure it was boring for everybody else, but
sure.
about how I could see
So unlike the inaccurate thoughts of other ophthalmologists who have no experience in this, saying that, well, the laser just breaks it up into little particles and you'll have more floaters. It's not exactly like that. Of course, it pulverizes the floaters, but we go back. It takes more than one time to really get an effective result. And this was your, third time?
Right.
And I think at this point, this is enough. We can be chasing our tail forever, going after floaters, but there's a point where you have to stop, and that's where judgment comes in.
Well, and your ultrasound shows that there's nothing there now.
Great.
And, at least in the major part of my eye.
Great.
So
Great.
I hope not to see you again. And I thank you for taking the risks that you have to bring this technology.
Yeah, I enjoy doing this. This is a great way to make a living. It's enjoyable and fun for me, and it's great to have a happy patient and meet interesting people. And you have a stem cell little business that you're going into, and of course you're an MIT graduate, so I'm sure it will be successful. Well, so thank you for being a great patient.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving forward. This is Dr. Ecker from Michigan. And tell us what your symptoms were beforehand.
Prior to coming here, my right eye, it was like looking through a cloud constantly. I could not see out of my right eye.
And you'd been sitting on this for a number of years, deciding whether you should do something or whether laser was an option, because your local ophthalmologist told you nothing could be done, right?
Actually, I went to two of our top leading ophthalmologists in the Tri-City area in Michigan. Both of them told me nothing could be done and that you had to live with that. I got on the internet, I read a few things and decided to go see Dr. Geller. Mm-hmm. And I cannot believe, I prayed for this and cannot believe I can see. And that's what I kept telling my husband just after the first treatment. I can't believe I can see again. And I just can't thank him enough.
Those bad days have been good days now, correct?
There are no more bad days with my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't have the depression that I had before, because everybody tells you nothing can be done, and it's depressing. I mean, I'm just 60 years old. I have a very busy practice, over 100 procedures a month I do. I felt like I had to give up my practice because it bothered me so much. It affected my depth perception. It affected everything, and I have my life back now. And I can't thank you guys enough. It's tremendous, absolutely tremendous.
And I've always told patients, it's all about the patient's selection and, of course, the experience of the operator. And you did go online. You saw some people that weren't satisfied. And my spin on that is they're usually younger patients, and it's very difficult to get their floaters for various technical reasons. You just can't do it.
Right.
But in your case, we got it, right?
We definitely got it, and I would highly recommend. I have two friends at home that are anxious how did it work out, and I'm anxious to get home to let them know, at least come for a consultation. You're so honest, he'll let you know if he can help you and he can't. Fortunately for me, he was able to, and I can see again thanks to him. And
that's great.
Well, thank you very much.
And also, I do need to add what a wonderful staff you have.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
Thank you. They appreciate that. Have a great trip back to Michigan, Doctor.
Thanks, Dr.